Welcome back to the God of War 1 playthrough. Wait, that's not quite right.
Yeah, where's the god armor?
Now, I always kind of find it somewhat effective when, during a time travel story, the time travel shenanigans return to a location that you haven't seen for a while, and something significant happens there that you might not have noticed before.
This is literally happening while Kratos is in that void fighting himself in the final boss fight against
I
Ares,
know.
so.
It's like one of the things that I think of when this sort of thing pops up is actually the BioShock Infinite Burial at Sea DLC. Or rather, no, the later on in the main campaign, actually, where you briefly return to Rapture to drown a certain large creature under the sea, and you hear its death cry. And I think like they added in to the other games via patch updates a point at which you could hear that creature's death cry in the background.
Huh, interesting. Never knew that.
So, BioShock Infinite's supposed to take place at the same time as 1 and 2? Then?
No. BioShock Infinite gets into time travel multiversal shenanigans.
Oh.
It handles it pretty well. The BioShock Infinite's main problem is its gameplay. Now, the story is pretty excellent.
Okay, I didn't know that it was a... I had no idea that BioShock Infinite had time travel, actually, so that's a surprise.
Well, that's why it's called Infinite. And it's more about multiple timelines than straight up time travel. But yeah, the reason that the Burial at Sea DLC takes place in Rapture is because Elizabeth eventually gains the ability to travel around time, and she winds up. Well, one version of her goes into Rapture and does some stuff, and she's aware of what all of her different versions do, so she decides to... Oh dear.
Funny, I did notice the Sister of Fate on the sword earlier.
It's like you're just not going to notice a thing about the Sister of Fate on top of the blade.
But yeah, Elizabeth winds up deciding to try and make up for what her other self did, and it leads to some stuff happening. It's more effective in BioShock Infinite's case, though, because the characters in Infinite have nothing to do with the characters in BioShock 1, so connecting them in that way leads to some fairly interesting interplay between the games.
Sis.
Why do I have to hold Kratos' pot of tea?
Man,
Well, you don't have to, Milan does.
these gods really
This is a
are
great
something
use of the
else.
theme,
You know, not able to take on a guy who is, for all intents and purposes, just a really badass human.
Does he...
You know, you keep saying the Thrates aren't meant for me, but you haven't killed me yet, have you?
So does, like, Fado... Why did I call him Fados?
Kratos.
Oh, God.
That's after he inherits the title.
Yeah. So since I'm clearly not going to be paying attention during the next cutscene, does he kill them and by doing so defy his fate, or does he like convince them to, or...
Nope, he just straight up kills them.
Okay,
Yeah, he defies his fate.
okay, there we go. So in that case, I guess in that case, then it doesn't really matter what fate they had for him or something, whatever. Like, although I still think that these guys are really, really stupid, because if they know what the fate is supposed to be, they know that Kratos is coming here, and so if they determine this sort of shit, they probably should have, like, I don't know, prepared a little bit better or something. But, you know, I'm just saying, you know, the Eagles, they could have flown us halfway there. Or something.
I'm going to assume that the rule is that they can see and interfere with other people's fates, but not necessarily their own, because they're outside of fate. So they would know he'd be coming, but they wouldn't necessarily know whether or not he would win.
Yeah, it's the same reason why psychics can't win the lottery.
You see, that's why I would just, like, before he could even go that far, like, for example, let's say they can see that, oh, after Kratos dies and comes out of Hades, he's going to try to come and find us. At that point, I would have just made it so he couldn't go out of Hades at all, and keep him from even the possibility of this from ever happening. But, you know, if I also had magical fate powers, I probably would do a lot of things, like make it so that Rare never left Nintendo, or, I don't know,
Manipulate the fabric of time and space so that all of the deities on Mount Olympus weren't assholes?
yeah, you know, that would also be nice, too. But it looks like these guys are douches too, so I can't really expect that.
This is a great use of the theme song, though.
Yeah,
love
this
the
is
way- I
a
love when it plays
pretty interesting boss fight by God of War standards.
Yeah, well, the song I think makes it. You know, it's the end beginning. We've already heard it like I think twice at this point.
It's
But I think it's really suited for a boss battle here.
to at least give good credit to God of War. Its soundtrack is always great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not as big a fan of the choir thing. That defines a lot of its music, but you know, it's handled well.
And at least it makes sense here to do the Latin choir because it's Greek and all that.
Well, Lion actually is Roman, so it's just not the same thing.
The general idea works.
Yeah,
so.
no, I'm joking.
There's a point during that at which the goddess is invincible.
Oh, thank you for standing in front of the only thing that can trap you forever. How very nice of you.
You know what would knock her in there quicker? If you used your Rage of the Titans. Just saying.
I'm ragey. I'm ragey enough.
I'm ragey enough.
Ryan Malice.
Have you seen how angry I am?
Yes, but I could be even rager.
I'm saving that for Zeus.
Ow.
My face.
Ouch. My head.
The animation for the stabbing through her head was so bad. Yay!
And 2 of the Sisters of Fate are gone forever.
Aren't there 3 of them though?
I said 2 of the 3.
Oh, I thought you just said the sisters. Okay,
No.
my bad. I don't get why they didn't have you fight all 3 at once though. What is this supposed to be exactly?
Well, the right Nero was the 3 wise men going to Christ and all that.
Oh!
Which why that was in this game, I don't know, but whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, did I miss something here? Why is that reference in this game?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I am Jesus.
So there are Greek gods, but also like the Abrahamic god, who's
Apparently.
like,
Apparently, the God of War world has a lot of different deities in it.
oh, so are we
since,
just
you
gonna
know-
get straight up Shin Megami Tensei in here? Because that always
Probably. I mean,
And are we gonna fight a giant penis?
probably.
I mean, in Dad of War.
I mean, I already
we're
am
gonna
a
be-
huge dick, so.
In Dad of War, apparently, we're going to be dealing with Norse gods and other such things. So,
You can't keep jumping between mythos like that, Kratos.
I kill whoever I want.
well, why not? The Greek gods apparently had nothing to had like no interest in anything but this one little slice of the world for some reason.
Well, that's something that kind of makes more sense if you think back in their times, because to the Greeks back in their day,
Yeah, I know.
Greece was the only part of the world that mattered. So
I know, and like every mythological, every mythology has this unhealthy obsession with its own little slice of the world, but,
Worst part of the game right here.
is this the third
What's-
sister?
Yeah, that's the third sister.
Yeah, this is the third
also,
sister, but what happens before
Mook
is-
Rush.
Yeah, it's a Mook Rush. It's a Mook Rush that goes on a little too long, if you ask me.
Also with reappearing and disappearing force fields.
So do you actually fight the third sister in her own boss fight?
Yeah,
or-
you do.
Okay.
Okay.
Just that you gotta deal with all these Mooks first.
Ugh.
I got 2 words for you, sister. Fuck
Suck
you.
it.
Fuck you. It really does
Like
look
one
like.
of the more direct insults to Kratos.
Okay, Ryan, you don't have any excuse for not using it here then.
Well, no, there are different tiers of the Mook Rush, so.
You want to save it for the later parts, right?
Get to the satyrs and just say fuck the satyrs.
Yeah.
Fuck the satyrs.
But like,
Have you been to a Seder, Neil John? They're not very. There's not a lot to eat.
I was thinking of the succubus from DMC, though. You know? Because it kind of looks like the same kind of enemy. It also looks like it was two-dimensional and you weren't actually rotating around it while you walked around that window.
You wouldn't be wrong.
I do think it's a JPEG.
With a moving mouth animation.
With a moving mouth, yeah.
I think the one, considering all the strands, I think this is supposed to be the one that weaves the strands of fate.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I don't remember what the first one does, though. The first one we saw, because I know
the first one just polishes mirrors.
Yeah, I know one of them weaves the strands of fate. One of them cuts them. I don't remember what the other one does. Like, I don't know, like ties them in pretty blows or something. I don't know. You know what? Since nothing interesting's happening on screen, I'll just look it up.
All right. This is one of those things where it's not very interesting to watch, but it's technically a required part of the game. So
the first thing that pops up is the God of War wiki.
That awkward moment when the bastardization of a story becomes more popular than the story itself.
Yeah.
Pop culture osmosis.
Tell that to everything Disney's touched, Lewis.
I mean,
I think the most defining example is who do you think of when you hear Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello?
No,
Tell
it's
me,
like
turtles or paintings.
well, no. XKCD already did a comic about that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did
Yeah, but that's
they did a pie chart of notoriety as a Renaissance artist versus notoriety as a Ninja Turtle,
Yeah.
and it did a pie chart for every name.
You know, it happens for everything, like Dr. Watson being a duffer in a lot of Sherlock Holmes stuff. I mean, he's a pretty damn competent character, but...
Okay, the third one measured the thread of life allotted to each person. Okay, there we go. All right.
So the third one just walked around with a ruler.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. That was the first one we ran into, was the one who measured the...
Measured.
Yeah.
The second one we ran into was the one that cut, and this is the one that weaves.
I also like how they made them
kinda
less
seems like-
sexy as you go, too, which is weird, but okay.
It's kind of a case where it seems like the three sisters of fate all have really boring jobs.
Hey, you know, somebody's got to do it, I guess.
They're basically glorified seamstresses.
Damn it!
How far back do you go if you die?
To before the Mook Rush.
Oh, God, that sucks.
Yes, it does. This is another good spot where to really use your Kratos' rage.
And Rage of the Titans.
That
I mean,
too,
what?
yes.
Who said that?
I like how the sirens, instead of just screaming in pain, they sing in pain. Oh, my neck! Getting stabbed! Pain!
Yeah, there's not much to talk about.
I don't remember if you reflect. I'm not sure if this was this game or God of War 3, where you can reflect the Gorgon's stare with the golden fleece.
No, you can do that
pretty
here.
much
That's
anybody around
that's
you.
what I've been doing.
That's what you've been doing. Okay. I don't remember.
It's a useful tactic, actually.
Yeah, it is.
If you're good at it, anyway. They're all on the other side of the wall.
Oh, you had a pretty insane combo, too. It was like 200 something.
Yeah, but now they're on the other side of the wall, and I can't get them. Besides the electric ball.
There we go.
Getting stuck on the other side of the wall, though, is prime opportunity to open the boxes if you need the health at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the only unopened box was was on the other
Health.
side of the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate quick time events that have analog stick movements involved in them, because it always feels like the goddamn. I'm sorry, Cortana just took over my screen for a second and asked me to say something funny. I have no idea why. But it feels like the analog stick movement. I'm always paranoid that it'll be the wrong movement.
Okay, so...
Or it'll read something incorrectly.
Okay, I've got a question. I noticed this. What does the yellow box do? I know that the blue is your magic.
The yellow is to get orbs for Rage of the Titans.
Oh. Oh. So
Or are you talking about the yellow meter below the blue bar?
yeah, the yellow meter too as well.
No, the yellow meter is just the time freezy thing.
Oh, okay.
It's just an indicator to let you know how much time you have left while it's on.
Yeah, it's an item bar.
Okay.
Which will become more pronounced next game.
Okay. So you can like.
I thought at this point that you'd be using the Rage of the Titans, but
We have to go all the way down, Lewis. All the way down.
great.
Well, you earn. Well, here's the thing: if you had used it, you probably would. If you used it now, you probably would earn enough of it back by the end of the next room or the next few rooms in order to get it for the next annoying area.
Probably, yes.
Also, it's very good that that guy running straight into you while you're doing your QuickTime animation didn't decide to, like, slash or something. That would have, like, been bad.
You mean Hollywood style fighting?
Yeah. Because, Krillin, Vegeta's doing just fine against Frieza, You don't need help. Nope. You don't need to, like, try to do something about that.
Actually, Krillin did try to do that once.
Yeah, once. Just once.
To be fair, Frieza did dodge out of the way. Now he knows it's coming. So.
Yeah, but there was also Gohan and Piccolo there. Like, there's enough people for all of you to fight him. Okay. Same with, like, Nappa. Like, okay, you don't all have to stand. Like, I know, Vegeta standing around doing nothing doesn't bother me because he's a cocky asshole, but only more than one person.
They did try to gang up on Nappa.
I know that Piccolo and Krillin did, but Tien and Chaozu were still alive at that point, so they should have helped too.
Well, there is the logistical problem that if you're going to have a bunch of people ganging up on one person, their movement is going to be limited by the fact that they can't.
That's
that they
why
have
you
to be
get him in a
careful.
full Nelson.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't really. They have to worry about hitting each other, so they're going to be more cautious about movement.
Well, I'd buy that if Dragon Ball doesn't specifically set up fights with villains as okay, I'm gonna fight them and everybody else will watch all the time, every time, sort of thing.
Yeah. Y'all shonen tournament battles.
Tournament talk.
Why does everybody always get so excited for a tournament arc when they're always really boring?
Hero Academia is great.
The only one that I really liked is the one in Naruto, and that's because it ended prematurely because a country invaded while it was happening, and there was some continuity between the fights. Damage to the environment would be used in the next fight, that kind of thing.
Okay, Ryan, you're literally at the door. Use your frickin' rage. Ryan. We've been.
Well, what is the point of telling me now when we're watching?
We've been here for 18 minutes.
Yeah, you hear that, you two commenters? Stop that.
Okay, then, John, I expect you to just turn your rage meter on.
I understand the irony when I'm telling you to get a move on and not using something as like considered an easy mode, because I used the God Armor in the God of War 1 playthrough. But that was specifically to prevent shit like this from happening. We need to get a fucking move on.
Okay, John. God of War 3, every time you get enough for your rage meter, whatever it is, always activate it.
No. Here's the thing, Ryan. You don't have to use it every time it's at max, but you have to use it some of the time. You have to have it exist.
Yeah, but based on you guys complaining about it, you better use it every single time you possibly can, John.
I do anyway. It's part of our playthrough.
Okay,
it's not really a challenge. Oh, I shall. Okay. I will play as normally as possible.
I think I've already excused myself from criticism here with just my Sonic Mania playthrough. So.
Yeah, but the Rage of the Titans doesn't turn off the music. Also, doesn't this now heal your health and magic? Like, that would have made this go faster anyway, because you could use your special moves again.
You shit, that punched that over in the dick. Goddamn.
Don't worry, guys. We're almost there.
We would have been there 10 minutes ago.
Is it this entire part of Mook Rush?
Right turn.
But if we
kinda
did that,
guy-
John, it wouldn't be a comfortable 21 parsecs land that's exactly 7 weeks on a Monday.
The
Wednesday,
kind
Friday
of guy
schedule.
that doesn't want to make that right turn, wants to make 3 left instead.
Yeah, waste gas.
I'll see if I drive you around Atlanta during the convention then.
You'd get the
Go take an Uber then if you're so smart.
honestly, considering
I
Atlanta
could
traffic,
do-
it'd be faster to walk.
He's not wrong.
Man,
He's
you
not-
say
no,
that,
he's
but like
not.
my route to work right now actually forces me to make 3 right turns instead of a left because there's no legal way to make a left.
Yeah, what if there's
Just
only
cross
one
the street
ways,
and
John?
pull
What
into
if
a
there's only
parking
one
lot?
ways?
It's like
Yeah.
the lanes are drawn under the assumption that there's nothing on one side of the road, so it's all yellow double lines that say, "Hey, you can't turn here." So I have to find a way to turn right, and the first time I went there, the first right was closed, so I had to drive even further away to make that turnaround. Yeah.
Stupid door. Just stay up, you stupid hand.
Oh, we're not even gonna fight the boss till next time, because God forbid something interesting happen this part.
God forbid.
God forbid. Oh, sorry, guy. We're gonna have to cut you off until the beginning of the next part.